Hello traders, Nick Shaheen here looking at Apple, the beast. Not my favorite company, so I'll start with that. But actually, I will start with the fact that I am long via credit put spread, bull put spread, which doesn't need a rally to win, and that's my favorite way of trading it. I took advantage and trimmed some of the longs yesterday on the pop, and or this morning. So I'll get that out of the way, and I'll tell you why it's not my favorite. If I take all the FANGs, Microsoft, and including Apple in that, it's my least favorite for the mere fact that I think Tim Cook is so overrated. It could have delivered the same results, if not better, without him, without any CEO, because it's just a cash machine. Why don't I like him? This is the sales line, the blue bars. It's stagnant. The orange line is the profit margins sinking last 2 years. This is the debt to assets, orange line, climbing. Assets dwindling, debt is building in relationship to that. I'm not making that stuff up. Okay, that's their balance sheet. So much potential in this guy's hands, and his best idea is to grow as much debt as possible. When he took it over, it had look up older balance sheet statements. They had zero debt, zero, and now they have, I don't know, 250 according to this. I thought it was 120, 140 billion in debt. Yes, it's cheap to borrow. Yes, they return more, but the concept. Just because it's cheap to borrow, you don't go out and getting mortgages left and right. Anyway, statistically, the other reason why I don't like it is this number. This number I can explain. Okay, so 35 is almost double what it used to run at. Profitability, price to earnings. Profitability is important for a company that's not growing. But they say it's because of services. Well, if that's the case, why is the profit margin lower? So I guess I need to see it still in the P&L. But I'll give it a pass on that one. This is what just makes me balk. This is 40% more than Amazon. So Amazon grows in 1 month more than this grows in the whole year. And it's 4 price to sales. This one is almost double that. It's just crazy. That's why I don't like that aspect. I love trading it. I told you I'm long. I just don't like what Tim Cook is doing with the company. He's a nice guy and everything, but they tout him as an operator, and I challenge that. Everything is late. Everything is back ordered. They want to make a car. They can't even finish headphones on time and make them available to people that want to buy them. So a lot of operational questions, even more than the financial questions. So dips are buyable. That's what I did. It dipped, I bought it. I went long it. I don't typically buy shares or anything, but I trade it from the long side. This was a gift. I took it. I would repeat the gift if it happens again. Now, if it loses this, then the conversation will be here. But my forecast is if this happens, it's not through fault of this company's, because then that means that the whole market has corrected. There's no way this is going down to here on its own. And if it does, it's a buying opportunity. This is a buying opportunity. This is a buying opportunity. So would this be? So on bad days, I would sell puts and put spreads into these whooshes, because then easy money. You get the bounce. Your sold puts or put spreads deflate in value, then I can close them. I don't sell naked puts unless I want to own the shares. So if I'm just trading for creating income, I would use a put spread in order to limit the maximum oh schmutz moment. This was not a coincidence, and I'll show you why. I'm going to put back my lines. Don't be scared. I leave a lot of lines. All right, so look at this arrow. I set it up a couple of months ago. Look at this tick. It's exactly to the arrow. I didn't make that value up. That was the breakout line from that line has been in contention. Look left. It has been in contention so many times. It was the breakout in December, in November. It was a contention in October. It was in contention somewhere in late August, early September. So it was a pivotal place where I thought that if they didn't bounce, if I get closer, you'd see it right here. If I thought that last in January, if they didn't bounce, they would have gone there. Well, they bounced and they took it to the moon, and they finally went there. They took their time though. Look, that last tick is almost exactly where it was. So machines have reference points, so you should pay attention to them. There are sellers on this bounce. If it goes into 130, I would fade it I don't start longs until they break out. Definite sellers around 130, 131. There's a gap all the way to 133, but I'd be a seller, meaning I don't think they're going to go there. That's why I didn't buy upside hope. I sold risk down below for income. So I bet that support is there, but I can't speak to the upside potential. I would rather bet on something else for the upside potential, even ARK ETFs, because they rally faster than this beast. This was a fluke. Whatever happened there, I can't remember. Was that the car headline? That was ridiculous. Anyway, good company, solid places to buy it on dips. Buy zone, I did. That's pivot, it was. These are notes from a while back. Buy here on the dip. It hasn't come? Yes, it did. Look. So I acted on my own notes. I had alerts. They triggered. I went. I get really long if it comes down to here. So on its own, it should have a lot of support. Now, if you take that out, you say, there's no way it's going there. Don't ever say that. If they lose this line right here, the debacle technically is down to here, if not lower. But again, it won't be on its own, and the whole market would have corrected, which is totally doable. Look at the SPY. We're so close to all-time highs. It's totally doable. So if the SPY goes to here, Apple could trigger that, and it would be a buying opportunity. So I'm not trying to scare anybody or poo-poo the prospects of Apple, the company. It's just not my favorite for upside. It's a good, solid downside selling puts opportunity. So I'm not recommending that anybody sell puts. I never sell puts. I don't want to own company shares in that company underlying. It's not necessarily a company. So selling a put spread, if you don't know what that means, selling a put commits me to buying shares from someone. So if I sell a $110 put, I'm basically telling somebody out there, hey, pal, don't worry. Any point in time between now and the expiration date, I'm your guy. If you want to give me your shares for $110, you can give them to me. As soon as they buy that put, they reserve that right. They can call me on it up here. They'd be stupid, but they can. At any point in time, they can call me on it. It doesn't have to be in the money. Most people think it is, but it doesn't. So I'm on the hook. If I don't want to own the shares, I shouldn't do this. I should do a put spread. I sell this put, but I buy something below it to limit my risk, because this way I can say, you know what, I'll just write it out. It goes to zero, it goes to zero. My exposure is finite. I know what I'm going to lose, versus being committed to buying the shares without any protection below. So it is tricky, but it's the easy, and I put easy in quotes, way of catching a falling knife and leaving room for error. I'll give you an example. My risk to catch this falling knife is didn't even come close to the money in the dips last week. So those are my thoughts on Apple. If you take issue, that's fine. You can comment, but let's keep it civil. I know some people love their stocks. I don't have hate for the company. I just don't like the leadership actions. He's a nice guy. I just don't like what he does for the company. He can, so much wasted potential. That's probably what upsets me the most. Just so much wasted potential. If you're not in the chat room, I have a link down below. It's not free to be in it because we do a lot of hard work and good work. Almost 300 traders now. You can try it out for free. There's a link that will take you to PayPal that is $0. So you can check it out for 10 days. And the reason I have that is because I want to make sure that the people trying to get in are not trolls, meaning harm. I want to know who they are so that I can protect the community in there. I promise you there isn't one jerk in there. And if there are, they won't stay long.